All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing amazing. When you join, say hello. Let me know that you're tuning in. Happy Monday. I haven't been on Facebook Live in a hot minute. I'm just going to check my phone to make sure that I'm on. But when you're on, join. I haven't done this ever before, but this is my 47th podcast episode. So I'm doing it live on Facebook. I haven't done this before, but I was like, you know what? I am in video. I might as well do this live instead of just talking to myself. So today's episode, 47, understanding relations to grow in business. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Colleen Gallagher. I'm super passionate about empowering everyone to receive clarity on their purpose, why they're here, and understand how to monetize it to really impact and influence this world. I love everything about consciousness. I love everything about development of humans and development of the planet that we live on. So I'm also a scholar. I have my master's of science in global technology and development, and I'm receiving my PhD right now in psychology. I'm a creator of online courses, and I have my three books that have come out, working on my fourth, and I have an oracle deck. So I do a little bit of it all. And I'm super excited for this episode because for those of you who have been watching my third book, An Uncompromised Life, the pre-orders have just gone out. So why that's exciting or why that's a big deal is because the actual date of An Uncompromised Life going out is June 8th of 2021. But we did a pre-order so they could ship actually before them. And when they ship, you guys, I did like a signed copy and I had all these things that added to it. So it's like exciting because I'm getting all these text messages of all of you receiving your books before it comes out. And then I know a lot of you are pre-ordering it on Amazon as well. So that's also super exciting. So you can go to Amazon, you can pre-order, or you can always message me if you want a signed copy to get the book before June 8th. So on this podcast episode, I really want to go deep into understanding relations because my third book is understanding overcoming trauma, understanding what that is, and also overcoming heartbreak. And as we just are living through or have lived through the time of COVID-19, a lot of us have experienced heartbreak, whether that's through like loss of friends, people that can't be our friend because they don't understand our point of view, whether it's relationships ending, businesses ending, like new beginnings, jobs ending, schools, like there's been a lot of transitions. There's been a lot that's gone on. Like no one can deny that. And so it's important to understand that out of all of these transitions happening in the world that simultaneously, like what is truth for us? What feels good for us, and how has this affected our way to relate to the world? You know, like before we could go and have coffee with anyone. Now a lot of our relations is through texting, through phone calls, through video chat. So how has our communication changed? How has that dialogue changed our development, our way of thinking, our way of depth, our way of doing business? And so I wanted to come on specifically. It's a little bit of a personal podcast, but anyway, I wanted to come on specifically because of my third book where it's overcoming trauma and heartbreak. And it's what I've learned to be true is if you learn anything in this life, is that relating to yourself, how you relate to yourself is why you have the relations you do in your life. So if you feel like you're constantly betrayed, or you feel like you don't have a lot of friends, or you feel like you don't have a lot of acquaintances, or a lot of people that are really like empowering you, it's because you have a base standard within you that accepts low quality interactions. And I know that that's kind of hard to hear because it's like, whoa, like this possibly can't be something that I'm doing. And that's the easy way out of it. And I've done a lot of breathing through this, a lot of work and a lot of reflection on myself of why my life and why my relations have been the way they have. And I think a lot of us don't take time to reflect. I think in my PhD, I had a book that something like 8% of us take time to actually reflect on our life. And to be a true leader, like it requires a lot of reflection. Like I saw something like Elon Musk was reading like 10 hours a day, sometimes when he was like realigning Tesla when it was like, looked like it wasn't going to go well. So like, you've really got to commit in understanding relations to reflect on yourself and to reflect why you were part of co-creating every relation that's happened in your life. And so there's three things that I wanted to share with you guys about this. And this is something that I go into in my book, my third book, An Uncompromised Life, but I wanted to offer it here in this podcast. So one thing is that on January 20th of 2021, when there was the transition of Trump to Biden, which, we all have different feelings on. But when that happened for me, and I just want to make sure, hold on one second. That when that happened, I actually went to the park that day and I took my journal and I wrote 20 pages in my journal of how I desire relationships to look for me. And this went from friendship to family, to clients, to business, to schooling. Like this was like really deep. I went into like every area of my life and even relation to myself, like with my mentors, with everything. Like I was like, you know what? This is the year for me that I will nail relating to people, that I'm going to be stellar, because my whole book, An Uncompromised Life, is about living a life that's true to you, living into your potential, and also accelerating like in all areas of your life. And so when I went to the park and I wrote this journal entry of 20 pages, my life has accelerated the past couple of weeks. There was a lot of people that revealed certain things, and naturally there was a transition out of relationships, and there's been a lot of transition into relationships. And it was like, hold on a minute. And there was even a point when I had one friend like say something kind of interesting to me, and then within 12 hours later, a random person at a park like said the exact opposite thing. Like what this person was shaming me for, this person was congratulating me for, like on the same topic. And so it was like such an interesting life to experience, because most of us, we live in relation with people where it's painful, where hurtful things are said to us, where we don't really ever know what's going on, where we feel like we have to do something to keep someone else happy. Like there's all these really weird intertwined things in relating, that if we aren't aware of what's going on, which most of us aren't, it's not taught to us anywhere how to relate, like how to connect to yourself, how to build relationships that are sustainable, how to build a business. This is not taught anywhere, like how to build friendships, what to do when there's conflict in friendships. Like these are not classes. There should be classes on this. And I started to like realize this, and I wanted to go like, what if I let things be good? What if my friendships, what if my relations, what if things with my clients were only good? What if there was nothing that was negative? And even the things that perceived to be hard or challenging, it was actually always good. Like, what if I always let relations be good? And I started to really like get into the frequency of this. And I wanted to share three things on this podcast for you to kind of relate to understanding relations to really grow your business and grow your life. So the first one that I wanted to share is that, if anyone in your circle, especially if you're an intuitive being, which I know if most of you are here, you're very intuitive, you're very creative. If anyone in your circle, so someone you text within a monthly basis or really weekly basis, they have negative thoughts about you, they have critical thoughts about you, if they have judgments about you, and they're in your close circle, you will take those judgments on as yours. And this person may never communicate. So for an example, like let's say your mom or your dad, you talk to them a lot and they're having judgments of like, oh, I want her to be successful. I want this business to be successful. I wish this person would take better care of their children. I wish that this person would do this. Like you have someone in your circle that's putting these thoughts on about you. That energetically can attach to you. And you'll be having thoughts about yourself that aren't even your thoughts. And you'll be sitting next to someone or talking or conversing with people you think are your friends, when in reality, the thoughts they're having about you are actually to put you down. And so what's really important to understand is who is in your inner circle. And when that people are in your inner circle, start to notice if you have thoughts about yourself that are negative after hanging out with someone, or if you're second guessing yourself. Because that means normally it's not even you, it's that person having thoughts about you that you were taking on about yourself that are not true. And so it's so important to purify, to cleanse, to detoxify your circle. Because if you are constantly with people, and after you leave them, you feel like something negative is happening, you're never really going to go full force. You're never really going to go for it because you're constantly having, it's almost like you go and buy, a new shirt, and then someone like doesn't know, but they're like putting something on the back of your shirt. Like you think they're giving you a hug, but they're putting a sticker on the back of your shirt to like say something negative about you. And you don't even know what's happening because you thought it was a hug. And so it's so important for whoever you are in relating, especially with business, especially in relationships that they're intimate, to understand, do the people I'm around really believe in me? Do the people I'm around really want what's best for me? Do the people I'm around, when I leave them, do I feel like I'm whole, or do I feel like my mind is spinning in negative thoughts because that's actually the thoughts they're having about me? And this was like really profound for me because you never really want to think people are thinking negatively about you that are close to you. And it's not really our business what others think about us. But if you have people in your close circle, you want to purify that. You want to release it. You want to dissolve it. You want to go, okay, there's better things for me to be feeling. There's better ways for me to be experiencing life. And what if all my relations were good? What if things just felt good? And so that's one. The second thing, and this is what I did in my journal on January 20th of 2021, I sat outside in the park and wrote 20 pages, you guys. How do I want my relationships to be? Get really clear. How do you want to relate? How do you want to experience relations? How do you want to laugh? If there is something that gets brought up, how do you want that to go through? And if there's a decision you make in your life when you choose to say, this is how I want relations to be, and something doesn't meet the standard, it's okay to release it. It's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to go, this is not for me. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's so important to get clear on how your relationships are in this world, especially even relating to yourself. Like, am I being true to myself? Am I surrounding myself with people that are uplifting me? Or are they constantly judging me and criticizing me and giving me feedback on what to be better instead of accepting where I'm at and listening and cultivating a relationship to support me where I'm going? And that is huge. If you are around people that are constantly criticizing you, or you just know it's not enough, or it's disappointing, it's okay. Like, that's not what we're here to be. That's not how relations are supposed to be. Relations can be amazing. They can feel divine. And I want to add something with that because I think it's really important, is sometimes like we really want someone in our life, or we really feel like there's an experience we're meant to have, or there's, as an intuitive being, like, I know there's something to be there. It's not long-term, but there's something there. And it's okay to be in a relation, like start a conversation or be in dialogue and realize this is just not going to work. It's okay. Like, I loved you. I had this time. And for whatever reason, I just intuitively know, like, I don't need to spend time with you anymore. It's complete. And you just move on. I think it's really important understanding to overcome heartbreak, to overcome trauma, to really like be serious about growing your craft in this world, growing a business, growing your inspiration. Because for you to grow and flourish, you need to have a structure, a foundation around you that supports you to thrive, not supports you in criticizing your every move, because everything you do is right on purpose. Everything you do is right on point. There's nothing that you ever do that is not perfect, whole, and complete. There's nothing. Even if someone came on Facebook and they were like so traumatized and wanted to share something, and that was their truth in the moment, that was how they wanted to use this platform, good for them. But that's not the relation you probably desire to engage in. You're maybe past that. But what I'm saying is just get clear on how you want your conversations to be, how you want your relating to be, because if you're not clear about that, your business will not grow. And then the third thing that I wanted to share, this is really important for a lot of you who follow me. If you're reading my third book and you've gotten it, or you've pre-ordered it, or need to message me to pre-order it, the third thing that's really important I wanted to share in understanding relations is be okay with calmness. Be okay with calmness and things feeling good. So often, so many of us have gotten so used to, let's break up, let's make up, let's break up, let's make up, let's fight, let's flight, let's fight, let's flight, let's have it like all this conversing. And like, what if it was just good? Like, what if life was just amazing? What if your relations were just wholesome and supportive? What if there was no judgment? What if you've had an anxiety attack and someone still supported you instead of judging you? What if you were OCD and someone just goes, I know that's how you are. Let's get it done. Let's do it. What can I help you and support you in that? But if you aren't clear on who you are and what your this is just part of who I am and I'm going to integrate it, no judgment, no shame, you will not be able to build sustainable relationships because people will always be judging you for those things because you've not yet accepted yourself. And when you truly want to grow like a heart-centered business, a wholesome business, a purpose-driven business, you've got to understand that in the accepting of you is what finally attracts the right people to you. Because if you don't accept you in those parts of you, you're basically rejecting parts of other people that they need help to heal. And so just be okay with relations being calm and good. Be okay in business if someone's like, hey, it's just not my moment right now to do what you want. Awesome. So great. Calm, peaceful. Like there's no anger, there's no frustration. Like there's no need to reach out to someone like, hey, I do this service. Do you want me to do, can you give it to me? Like there's just no need. Be okay with peace. Be okay with calmness. Focus on yourself. Write in your journal, how do you want relations? How do you want to feel? And when you focus on that, the world is literally going to realign with you, because I've just seen it in my life the past 2.5 weeks where like you write something and it's like a polarization of like things happen. And then literally, like I said, like something 12 hours later, this was just this last week, like happened of like one person that was close to me said this, and then a complete stranger like healed what this person said over the same issue. And it was like so funny because the world is always supporting you. The universe is always showing up for you. And so think of relation like this with business. I want to like make a visual for you. Okay. Think about it like this. If you're going to a store, right, and you don't really know what you want, like you kind of just want to look around, and then someone comes in, they're like, how are you? Do you need help? And you're like, no, I just want to look around. And this person keeps pestering you and keeps pestering you and keeps pestering you. Like it's annoying. You don't want to be around that person. Whereas like someone, let's say you go in and then you're trying things on, and the person at the store is like, oh my God, this looks amazing. That looks amazing. You're like, okay, I know not all these things look amazing on me. So now you have a relation that's being created based on falsity because they just want to get your money. Well, think of your life like that. Like, how do you want to be relating? Do you want to just be fake just to whatever to get people's money? No. Do you want to be the person that's pesty at someone like, oh my God, let me help you find what you need. Let me help you. No, you don't want that. Your job is to just be the store. Figure out how you want your relation store to look. How do you want to express? How do you want to be? Like, just write that in your journal. How do you want to express? How do you want to be? How do you want to share? And in that sharing and that momentum, that will attract the right customers. Like someone who's going to go into Nordstrom's and someone who's going to go into like a, what's this called? Like CVS, like, I don't know, both looking for makeup. That's two different clients. No, everyone, I'm not going to say I'd never go to CVS, but if I'm going shopping, like specifically for some type of makeup, I'm probably going to go, no, I probably wouldn't go to either of those. But anyway, like just that is thinking of that. Look at that. And how you want to think of understanding relations is how do you want to be as a human being for those type of relations to be attracted to you? And that's when I say, look at it right now in your circle. How is your circle with you? Do you have a lot of negative thoughts about yourself? Are people kind of being rude to you? Like, what are the things constantly being said to you? And those are actually just reflections of how you're feeling. So how do you heal those? A, and how do you detoxify the circle? B, be clear on how you desire to actually feel and relating. And C, be okay with calmness and goodness. And so I hope that this serves you for our 47th podcast episode. Let me know if you guys like the video. Please share it or tag anyone that you may feel be beneficial. And lastly, I have a course that I'm doing, which is all about overcoming heartbreak. So this is like with you, you're like, I feel like my relationships suck, Colleen. Like they're not going well. I've had a lot of trauma and pain with them. This course will be for you. We're going to start on February 15th. So the Monday after Valentine's Day. And so message me just falling in love, and I'm going to give you the details. But this course will go with my new book, An Uncompromised Life. So I highly, highly, highly suggest being able to hop on this while you can and receive the details, because when my book comes out June 8th, it'll be at a much higher investment point. So message me falling in love. The other thing is, if you have not yet pre-ordered my book, An Uncompromised Life, you can go to Amazon. If you want a signed copy, you can directly message me and share this. Enjoy, and let me know how you like the videos, you guys, with it live here on Facebook, or if you like the little bites better. So enjoy this moment in time when you are receiving this, wherever you are. I love you. You are rising, and it is your time.